being pretty demanding, huh? You can't always plan for these things. Look at me. Yes. I'm Zach George. I'm a dog trainer. Meet my new project, Kona. I've got just 3 weeks to train her and set her up for the most well-behaved life possible. That means I need to work on the most common puppy issues like potty training, how to actually pay attention, stopping things like play biting, chewing, separation anxiety, getting along with other animals, leash walking, and teaching her everything a good dog needs to know. Real dog training doesn't always go smoothly, and that's why I'm going to show you every success and mistake and how I work through all of the most challenging parts of raising a new puppy. Welcome to your new puppy survival guide. We're gonna go over some really fun stuff today. Hopefully, Kona's gonna learn how to stay and how to settle down and chill out when I ask. Wish me luck on that one. And we're gonna see how she's doing on a couple of her tricks. As you can see, Kona is growing like by double every day. It's so important to make sure that puppies are getting the right essential nutrients as their bodies are forming and maturing. Solid Gold is a brand of food that I'm very comfortable in recommending to see if your individual dog thrives on it. In dog food, I generally like to avoid byproducts and cheap fillers. I also like to look for high quality grains and proteins too. According to nutrition experts that I've talked to, Solid Gold is one of the best dog foods out there. Notice the sit. It's coming along nicely. No jumping, I appreciate that. Yes. She's a fast learner. Solid Gold has a whole line of products that you're gonna like. These C-meal supplements are awesome. Okay, here you go. Look at her, she doesn't even know what's good for her and she's loving it. And if your dog is a picky eater or you just wanna give them some extra nutrition, this is human grade bone broth right here. You guys can save 30% on Solid Gold products by going to my special link, solidgoldpet.com/Zach. I'll have that link in the description of this video. It is about time for Kona to learn the concept of stay. Stay is mega important. It will almost certainly save your dog's life at some point. I mean, there's really nothing you can give greater priority to training than stay. I don't know. Kona, what do you think about that? I don't know if Kona approves. So today I'm hoping to run through the 3 steps to teaching a stay. Stay for a period of time, stay with distance or while we walk away, and stay while distracted. That's a really tough one. So this is actually gonna be Kona's very first stay training lesson of all time. We're gonna start with introducing this concept of stay for a period of time first. A really great way to practice this is by teaching your dog to stay in their crate when you open the door. Wow, she's got some attitude. Look at her. I don't want to open the crate while she's barking, so I'm gonna wait for her to be quiet. Yes, quiet. There we go. That's the trick to resolving barking, letting them know when they're behaving as you like. Yes, good girl. Okay, back to stay. If I open this door, I already know that she's gonna come running out. The whole goal is to be able to open this door and have her not come out. Yes, good girl. Yes. Do you see that? You see what we're doing here? Do you see how it's opening for just a second? Yes. Good, I wanna close it before she gets out, but I wanna let her know staying is what's making this work. I think we'll see it in her eyes. I think we'll see the light bulb go off here. Yes. Good. Yes. Good. Just giving small treats. Yes. This is a great way to actually use your dog's meal to teach them something productive too. Yes. Yes. And right there, what was the consequence? I said, there was a consequence. The door closed, she lost access. Yes, I'm gonna reward the down that she just offered. Yes. Of course, I'm being careful not to slam it in her face and traumatize her for all time. Yes. Yes. Okay, come. Good. So there I'm letting her know she can come out, but only with permission. So let's see if we can get a better version of that. Notice too, I'm not saying stay. I'm not really using a lot of words with her right now. I'm just trying to practically and visually communicate with her. Notice how slow we're going here. Really let her think it out. Yes. Love this. This is definitely new behavior. Yes. Okay, come. Good. Nice work. Good job. So, I mean, you can see here, she's getting the basic concept of staying for a period of time, just a few seconds at a time. So teaching her to stay in the crate like that is something that I'm gonna practice every single time I let her out of the crate from here on out. It's also been really important for Kona to get comfortable being alone because of her separation anxiety. She's been doing a lot better in the crate lately. One amazingly helpful device for us has been the Furbo dog camera. It's really been allowing me to check on her when I'm upstairs or I go away for a little while. I can even talk to her and give her treats through this device. But what I like most about Furbo is that it actually keeps getting better after you buy it because they add new features all the time. If you've got a puppy, Furbo is definitely going to make your training easier. Even if you've got an older dog, it's going to make your training easier. I'm going to have a link in the description where you can pick one up. And thank you to Furbo for being an amazing sponsor of this channel. Okay, I want to get a little bit more serious about teaching Kona to stay when I'm farther away from her now. I'm not sure how we're going to do on this because we're definitely moving pretty quickly with her, but my hope is to be able to have her sit while I walk away here. So that's the goal here, or lie down, whichever she prefers. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and get her warmed up on a sit. Good. Let's try lie down. Very good girl, yes. Yes. Do you see that? See how I didn't walk away 5 feet? Yes. So from her perspective, she's like, wait, if I just hold this position, I keep getting what I want. She seems to be paying attention to my hand as well. I'm starting to just kind of subtly introduce the hand signal. Okay, come on, let me let her up and release her from the stay there. I also want you to take note of the fact that I'm not pausing at the end. I'm immediately coming back to her. I'm really trying to zoom in on the distance aspect, not combining distance with a period of time. Duration. If you can just break these early lessons with your puppy down into their easiest forms, it's really going to pay off. It's often very tempting to try and really push it, which I'm definitely guilty of sometimes. Yes, look at her. She's looking real comfortable there. Look at me. Yes. A general guideline when teaching stay is to not let them fail more than once in a row. So if she were to break, I would want to do everything I could in my next attempt to make it very easy. Case in point. So she broke there, right? Sit. You want to lie down. Good. So I'm not going to let her fail this time. I'm going to do a real easy version, just a foot back to get her warmed up again. And I'm going to release her now, right? Come on, okay. Come, good girl. Good job, all done. That's a rundown of how your puppy or new dog should learn the concept of staying while you walk away during their first stay lesson. I don't want to push it beyond that right now. The third step to teaching stay is to teach them how to stay when they're distracted. This is by far the toughest part of teaching stay. And remember, distractions come in many varieties. Some distractions are easy, some are hard. So my goal for her first stay with distractions lesson is to get her to stay for a toy like this ball right here. And I'm just doing this to demonstrate that it's something that she really likes to go after. The tennis ball here is just a metaphor for the squirrel or the cat running across a busy road or something like that. We have to really take stay with distractions very seriously. And let me just say up front, teaching your dog to stay around heavy distractions is a very lengthy process because it takes a lot of experience. But I'm going to show you how I introduce the concept of stay while distracted. Look at me. I first want to start by keeping the distraction minimally distracting. Then I'll gradually make the ball a little bit more enticing while encouraging her to stay. See, I also say here instead of look at me sometimes. She seems to be understanding that. Here. Yes. And that movement is enticing. That's exciting to her, as opposed to it just sitting still. Look at me. Yes. And look at me. Okay, go on, get it, it's okay. Good girl. And just through my enthusiastic energy there. I was really just letting her know, look, it's okay, and she even brought it back. Go get it. You might be wondering if this might discourage her to not go after the ball in the future, but don't worry, dogs are smart. They can easily learn that sometimes it's okay to chase a ball, and that they also need to listen and not chase a ball if you've asked them to stay. Yes! Pretty good. She seems to be understanding the hand signal. Stay. Yeah. And I surprised her there. I changed up the variable, so that was a fail. So I'm gonna make it easier. Look at me. This time I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna go slower. The slower we go, the faster they learn. Yes, good girl. That's a very similar exercise to the leave it, look at me combo. I mean, it is a distraction after all. I'm gonna see if we can get some type of rough draft version of stay for a period of time with distance and while distracted. I'm gonna come up with the easiest version of that I can to see how she does. Sit. Lie down. Good. Walking away. Look at me. Yes. And okay, come on. Good girl. And hey, there you go. She passed it. Super basic, right? I was able to do it from a distance while having her hold, I don't know, a 5 or 6 second stay with something that she wanted, a ball. And she did great. This is where it all starts. Practice this 5 minutes at a time. If you notice that your dog is struggling with any aspect, just take your time and really delve into that particular aspect and be patient. But I think one of the things that really helped me as I was learning how to train dogs over the years was try not to let them fail more than one time in a row. Do your best to meet that criteria and you should do pretty well. If you want a written version of what we just went over and what we're about to cover next, check out my books. I'll have links below. Let's try it here real quick. Look at me. Okay. Good, and here we can actually use the environment as a reward. We'll go into more detail on that skill later because there's a little bit more to that, but looking good. Good girl, go pee. You're gonna be potty trained in no time. Settle is probably one of the most practical and most used skills that a dog can learn. This is what a settle should look like. Okay, that's spooky. She's really starting to understand English. Settle is great when you have company over or when you're just busy and can't directly tend to your dog, but you want them out in the general area of your house. Settle is really a state of mind more than it is a physical position. Settle is basically where you have your dog just check out and lie down and leave you alone. But with a young puppy, if you leave them alone, they very often find all kinds of trouble to get into. Boy, she really needs to learn settle right about now too. Oh goodness. Yep, she's being a good subject right now. Kona! Yes. Come, good girl. Now, I'm really anxious to get into my settle training, but what you're witnessing here is what lots of us like to call demand barking. This can be one of the most frustrating types of barking to deal with. Let me show you how I address it. You can't always plan for these things. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna wait for it. Yes. I'm gonna wait for her to get quiet for a split second and reinforce quiet. Yes, quiet. Good girl. Yes, quiet. Yes, look at that. Did you see how she went to go rest her head? We're actually still teaching settle, believe it or not. Settle is really about capturing a particular state of mind, a relaxed, calm state of mind. Relax. Your tone of voice goes a long way, believe it or not. It can be tough during barking fits like this to find things to reinforce, but reach deep to find anything that you do like about your dog's behavior. Good. I mean, this position she's in with her hips to the side, this is the general position of settle. Yes, but you can see we're really trying to relax her mindset and just get her to chill. Because to this point, all of her naps, all of her downtime, when we're not working with her or when she's not playing with the dogs, is spent in the crate. Because I can't trust her to be in the house yet or on leash while in the house, while I'm supervising her. Now, of course, we're not at that point yet where she can walk around the house freely, but it is time to start phasing in, hey, you can relax out here in addition to the crate. So that's what I'm hoping to accomplish. When you really start teaching an authentic settle, you shouldn't really have to use treats or anything, because ideally you're working your dog, you're giving them the attention they need, so they ought to feel pretty satisfied. You can't really bypass exercise and regular mental stimulation and hope your dog will just settle on request. Relax. Good girl. Yes. Very good. And my goal here, I don't know that I'll accomplish it necessarily right now, but my goal is to get her to take some level of nap out here in the common area, because I really think that the more time that she experiences behaving in a way that we humans find acceptable in a particular context, like being out here in the living room, the more likely she is to generalize the skill of lie down and relax while in a real life scenario. Kona. She's going to go into a down. Settle. Yes. Very good. Good girl. So that was a really good example of capturing a settle. And at first, like, the visual difference between lie down and settle is not very apparent. But over time, your dog is going to learn, okay, when my parent says, hey, lie down in a training context, maybe where you're about to run through play dead and roll over or some other tricks you've been working on, then they'll understand down in that particular context. So after a long walk, for example, you might ask them to settle as they're showing a willingness to relax. So I'm going to stop rewarding her with treats here. I expect her to get up. Okay, you can get up. Or maybe she stays right there, but that's what I like to see. Settle. Good girl. So, I mean, this is what a first settle training session looks like. And of course, we build on this over time. So I'm going to continue to work with her. Let's see what she does here. Kona! Good girl. Hey, do you want to settle? How about that? That was great. Yes, good girl. Very good. These early lessons, you don't want to push your dog. You want to keep things easy. This will minimize frustration with them over time and really get them to be enthusiastic about training and look forward to it, hopefully. That was a good settle training session. I'm very proud of you. Now, you might recall we have laid the groundwork for a couple of tricks that we've been working on. So I want to give you an update on those and see where they are. In our first lesson, you could tell that she was starting to understand the concept, but we weren't able to get a really formal bow. So I'm going to show you how we take that to the next level here, I hope. So I'm just going to lure her. Yes. Going to start easy. Just the fact that she's putting her head down is good. Yes. But really, I want to see those legs start to bend, those front legs bend forward. I'm pulling the treat away when she goes into the lie down because her butt has to stay up. Yes! Yes, good. Do you see how I'm pulling away before her butt goes down? Yes, good. You see that? See how she's holding that butt up? This is all about timing. This takes practice, but you'll get a feel for it with your dog. Yes, good. She's real responsive to that. Yes, yes. When she's starting to hold that position in the beginning, I'm gonna rapid fire those treats. It won't always be like that, but that's just communicating to her, whoa, that's really working. Yes, yes. Since I'm using Kona's meal to train her, I can be extra liberal and distribute these treats like a Pez dispenser right now. Yes, okay, good. So, really exciting there. Boy, nothing gets me more excited than a dog learning a cool new trick like that. So, let's see how she's doing with rollover. We're still heavily lure dependent on a rollover at this point. Let's wait for those hips to relax so I can make it a little bit easier. We'll see where she shifts. Lie down. There they go. See how they shifted that way? That means it's better to go this way. We'll let her nibble on the treat as we go. Yes, good girl. Here it is. Lie down. Good. Roll over, good girl. Kona is such a fast learner. And remember, if you want to switch to a really great premium dog food, check out Solid Gold. You'll save 30% on select Solid Gold products by going to my special link, solidgoldpet.com/Zach. And get your Furbo dog camera too. I'll have all of those links below. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and get a copy of both of my books. And we'll see all of you in the next episode. Kona, you're awesome.